funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Howdy everyone, Nathan here, and welcome back to the channel that you can't hide from. And today we're going to be talking about breaking news! The hit indie game Five Nights at Freddy's is joining Dead by Daylight for the 10th anniversary. In other news, there's a killer wearing a bag over his head. No one has seemed to figure out his identity. Cops are still on his trail. We'll tell you more after the break. That's right. On the day of recording this video, FNAF has just announced that they'll be joining the game of Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is a first-person horror game that you have one killer and the rest are survivors. Your job is to, well, kill them or survive the killers. It's very self-explanatory. I'm finally glad they're joining the world. They fit perfectly in this world. And my job here is to figure out what characters we could see in this game. Let's start with the survivors. We don't have much. Yeah, the FNAF games don't really have much humans to go off of. We have Vanessa, which could work. Henry, which we have no human design for. Or most likely a movie Michael. Or we could potentially get MatPat if we really wanted to shoot for FNAF stuff specifically. Or Markiplier, maybe even Dawko. Who knows? But you're not all here to figure out what survivors are going to be in this game. No, no, no. You're here to figure out what animatronics are going to be in this game. It's going to be Springtrap. There's no doubt in my mind there's going to be Springtrap in this game. He's the main character, the main villain of this story. He's also the most popular character in the entire franchise. Springtrap would totally have the rest of the Fazbear gay its costumes if they just do that. They have very similar sculpts. It just makes sense. It only makes sense for him to join the roster. So how would he work? Obviously he would have a knife. Boop, 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 boop. Knife. And he would obviously, his kill animation would obviously just be this. Like just clean off the blood. Like he did in the movie. Now how would his special abilities work? You see, in Dead by Daylight, killers have two special abilities. And I'm wondering what they could be. Game Afton would probably use the Phantoms, using one random Phantom effect to make him work. You can have slow down, figure out something else. I don't know, I'm not a game developer. But Golden Freddy has a shot if we're not going with Springtrap. Golden Freddy is the second most popular character and MatPat's favorite thumbnail character for this game, so why not? Obviously, he would float. Golden Freddy would obviously float around. Maybe his first ability would probably be teleportation, which is basic but on brand for the character. His second ability would be something a little wacky. My personal idea is that he would have a cake he set down somewhere and, well, when a survivor eats it, they get back some health. But he can find you now. Yeah, you can see it. It's a double-edged sword in a way. It's a higher risk, high reward type thing. Sure, your enemy gets healed, but you also know where to find him. So, how would he kill, though? His mouth. Obviously his mouth. The entire this.
Was that the bite of 87?
he would obviously just bite into his enemies and then probably wipe off the blood when he's done. Simple. Puppet works a lot like him, floating around, probably using teleportation, and of course having the present thing as well. It just makes sense. But Baby would be very interesting. We have two choices. We go with Scrap Baby or we go with Normal Baby. Both could work. No idea what any of their best special abilities could be, though. Normal Baby would be killing with her scooper, and Scrap Baby would be killing with her claw. Special abilities? Who knows? Ice cream? Mimicry? That'd probably be it. One-Time Freddy would be a very interesting choice. Though, he would obviously use a Bonbon as his main weapon. He would probably chuck him, and if it's far enough, he just goes back. I'm not going to just redo that. And he might use his stomach hatch that he has. Maybe he shoves them in when they're dead, and then he can hold two at once, being a special ability. Who knows? I also think Ennard would be a pretty cool idea. Just imagine a spiry exoskeleton of wires coming after you. No idea what any of his super things will be. I also like the idea of Moon and Sun joining the roster. They're very popular, and Moon could be very terrifying if given the chance. Imagine this person flying towards you. Creepily. Maybe a small animation every time he gets hit by light, turning back to Sun. Would be very interesting and cool. But again, I don't know how they would work. I think Mangle is probably the third best option here. Obviously, Mangle would be crawling on walls and attack using his mouth. But she might be able to rip herself apart. Basically acting like bear traps in a way. Or maybe she's stealthier this way. Or she can't move until someone gets trapped in one of them. And then she slowly gets back together. Because the entire point of Mangle is that she was torn apart and put back together over and over and over again. But you know the one character I think would make the best on this show, in this game? You know the character I think would be the best in this game? That I know will never get picked?
Oh! I called it! Let's go! Music Man!
That's right, the meme himself, Music Man! Would be my personal favorite for this list. But of course, that was most likely not going to happen. But what if he was? His first ability would also be able to crawl on walls, like using his spider legs as, well, a spider. But I also like the idea that he uses mini Music Mans. Winding them up, setting them down, and just making noise. Because I think that's the special thing about Music Man, is that he would make a ton of noise. He's not silent, he's bold, he's loud, and hates other people making more noise than him. So of course, what do? He walks, that tambourine sound, the cymbal sound you love hearing so much, symbolizing your death. And he obviously kills with his cymbals, just maybe you wice them like this to get the blood off. Who knows? I just think Music Man would be such a fun idea to play with. It doesn't have to be specifically Music Man. I'm sure you can use a bunch of other characters to fill your point. I just think it's an idea. Most likely we're going to get Springtrap, though. He fits mostly with the lore for both games. He fits most lore for him to be in this game anyway. And again, he's the most popular character. But what do you think? What character do you think should be in Five Nights? What do you think? What character do you think should be in Dead by Daylight? Let me know in the comments. And make sure to jump scare that subscribe button. And leave a like if you enjoyed it. And as always, my friends, stay tuned. Breaking news! The hit indie game Five Nights at Freddy's is celebrating its 10th anniversary. And what's wrong?
The tape.
The tape. Breaking news! The hit indie game Five Nights at Freddy's. Breaking news! The hit indie game Five Nights at Freddy's is joining Dead by Daylight for their 10th anniversary. You know the news, there's a killer wearing a bag over his face. My mustache is falling, isn't it? Don't look at that. Look at that. Garfield. Cat piano. This is going in the end credits, because cat. Gotta be... Cat wants to say hi. Look at him. So beautiful. This is Garfield, my favorite cat. He loves me. And just stop me from recording. Yeah. Jack, help me now. Don't have much to go on. You're moving. Quit moving. Stop. Stop. Yeah. Yeah. Stop. Come on, catch my